To Nevertheless Commentaries. This is Sipo on Spot. My name is Sipo Ndlovu, coming live from Pietermaritzburg, KwaZulu Natal. We're about to do some of those things that we always do by this time of the day. Usually I bring in the sports news about what's been happening on the sport world, particularly in South Africa, BHA Premiership in most cases. Speaking about the big three, and then my favorite teams from AEKZN, which is my province, KwaZulu Natal. Those teams will be Mazulu, will be Golden Arrows, will be Durban City. But today I got delayed a lot, so it took. I think I worked till very late today, so I got some hold up. I was hoping that I would knock off late, so it wasn't the case. I got a hold up. I came very late here. I couldn't prepare my note because if you are coming from work, living alone like myself, at the moment I'm a bachelor, so you want to prepare for tomorrow first. And after preparing for tomorrow, you need to bath. After bathing, you need to check on the family. So the next thing I see, it's already 9 o'clock. So I was supposed to be live at least by 8 o'clock to make sure that in an hour, this is 9 o'clock, then I'm off and actually do some other things to actually help me prepare for the following day. But I came very late, so I had to prepare first for tomorrow and then come back live. Thanks to Ukagiso, because he's one of the guys who actually asked if I'm coming live or not. So thank you very much to Kagiso. I think he checked on me, but I got delayed a little bit at work, so I came very late into the house, and I had to prepare for tomorrow. So, Brasipo, I hope you are well. I'm okay. Thank you, Makubi. I'm okay. So I got a little bit of delay, so because of work. The nature of work that I do, I cannot actually really predict what time I'm going to knock off, because it depends on what time do I finish working. So that's the problem. And also, you'll never know what's going to happen on the road. Anything can happen on the road and there be some delays. So I apologize for that. I should have been live at 8. But maybe I should make this a standard time, 9 o'clock or 9:05. So I'll just make 9:05 a standard time every day. Wayne Taylor, how you doing, bro? I know you are a South African. As soon as you say Brasips Ola, I know you are a South African. We are a South African. So I hope you're good, bro. So I think I'll make 9:05 or 21:05 SAST time, the standard time that I come live for the entire 55 minutes until 10 in the evening. So probably that's what I will actually need to announce. That is 9:05 in the evening to 10. Complete 55 minutes, I mean. I spend the time with you all. And then we chat a little bit and talk about the things that are in our interest. But I got delayed today, so that's why I'm rescheduling the time. And thanks you very much to Kagiso. Actually, I think Kagiso sent me a message asking how I was doing. 100% purebred. SA blood brother. Thank you, Wayne Taylor. Thank you, Wayne Taylor. Yeah, we are South Africans, bro. And we are proud. And I think South Africa runs the internet. South Africa runs the internet. South Africa are the bosses of the internet. You go to Twitter, it's South Africans. You go to YouTube, it's South Africans. So you see people from all over the world, they start to create content based off of the South African content, because they know South Africa is a vibe. South Africa is the boss of the internet. So if South Africa loves you, they love you for sure. So I now understand why the Americans, the Europeans, I haven't seen Asians though, and why they usually actually look for South African content and react to it and actually comment on the things that are happening to South Africa. And some of them actually do visit the country. I think we've had Romansamin for over 2 years now, living in the country, because South Africa is South Africa. South Africa is a vibe. And if South Africans love you, they love you. And you will feel that they really, really love you. But if you tune a flop, then also they will get you. And when they get you, it won't be nice. It won't be nice. So people who have actually felt the wrath of the South Africans know that South Africans got a lot of love, but if they turn against you, you will definitely feel the hit. So South Africans is a vibe. I love my country for that. So I wouldn't trade South Africa for any country. I don't care which one, but South Africa is a vibe. Matro knows. If you said Matro knows, I'm thinking of Chief Mukoko. I'm thinking of Chief Mukoko if you said Matro knows. No one knows when Taylor. Be blessed, brother. Thank you very much. No one knows December like South Africa. Be blessed, brother. Thank you, Wen Taylor. So, hi Kingsley, the gamer. How you doing? Yeah, that's what's up. If South Africans love you, they love you for real. And if actually they turn against you and you did something wrong, then you will feel the heat, because it's South Africa. We'll let you know if you love you. If we love you, we'll let you know. But also, if we do not love you, you will know that we don't love you, and you will want to actually switch off your phone and never come into the internet again, because when we are at you for real. So you want to tread correctly. If you have South Africans as your followers and supporters of your work, and you need to tread carefully and actually do right things. I'm also a South African YouTuber. Kingsley, the gamer. Let me check you out. I will subscribe to your channel, Kingsley. I will check out your content and subscribe to your channel. I have a notepad actually here. So everyone who has a YouTube channel, I would love to actually subscribe to their channel, Kingsley 10, the gamer. I'll check you out and actually subscribe to your channel. Wayne Pramana. What up, Wayne? I've taken a screenshot of brother's photo. I want to go to the toilet first. Wow, bro. what you doing in the toilet with a screenshot? The name is 12 Gamer. Thank you, 12 Gamer. I'll check out your channel. It's Kingsley 10 the Gamer. You said it's 12 Gamer. I'll check it out and subscribe to it, and I'll also check out the content. You probably see some of my comments to the content that I've managed to watch, but I'll definitely check it out and do subscribe to it. Thank you for actually letting me know that you're actually a YouTuber from South Africa. How South African has been to you and the rest of the world? How have you find this YouTube stuff going? Yeah, bro, I'm confused. Why this nigga wanna take a screenshot and then go to the toilet? What's with that? Thank you. It has 17 subs. Yeah, keep pushing, bro. Don't only post your gaming videos. Also create some shorts. I think shorts help to actually. I got robbed last year. Oh, I'm so sorry, bro. Where you from in South Africa? Where you from in South Africa? If you continue to post shorts, I think shorts actually draws traffic to your channel, and you might find some subscribers. Once you reach 50 subs, then we'll be able to actually be live. But I will be your 18th subscriber tonight. Gauteng, where about in Gauteng? Gauteng province, yo. Kwayama ngayipheli kuphela amazinyo endoda. So they basuke besho thina ke lapho. They talking about us, maybe kuphela amazinyo endoda. As you can see, scene. Yo, it's so hot here in KZN. So I don't know how about the rest of the country and the rest of the world, but it's so hot here in KZN, especially in Pietermaritzburg. And I'm wearing a sweater, and I will constantly be drinking water because it's very, very hot in here. And luckily, I just finished birthing. Maybe that's why I'm a little bit cool, but it's very, very hot here. I'm sorry that you got robbed, Kingsley, the game, 12th game, I mean. I hope uh, justice was served, or Kam actually served his purpose, because uh, if you do bad to others, it will eventually catch up with you one day. That's the motto, I think, of the karma. But it's very, very sad that you were robbed. And unfortunately, it has become a norm in some parts of the country. Maybe, oh, the justice wasn't served. Oh, that's very, very sad. And it has become the norm that in our country, in some parts of our country, actually, people are getting robbed. And that's that. Even if you open a case, sometimes there's nothing that happens. So it's very, very sad. But we are hoping that maybe in future, as the young ones are growing up, they will actually have power and strategy and be brave enough to actually change actually the country around and turn it around, so that we will actually see less and less of robberies, house break-ins, hijackings, kidnapping, and all those kind of stuff that sometimes people are finding themselves being victims of. Some niggas actually come up missing. So if you, because some of you here, South Africans, stay having hope, bro. Don't give up. Yeah, Richard. Thank you for that. I hope also 12 gamers saw your comment. It's very, very important. Stay having hope and never give up. I'm hoping that since you all are South African, Brian Brintukani, let me read this correctly. Brian Tan Thank 2928. How you doing, bro? I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I just subscribed to you like 3 minutes ago. Yeah, I will actually subscribe to your channel as well as soon as I'm done here, because I can't subscribe while I'm live. I think maybe because I'm using this cell phone. Maybe if I was actually sharing my screen, it was going to be possible to actually subscribe while I'm live. Maybe that's some of the things that I need to start beginning, so that some of the things that I want to speak about, we will also watch together and actually comment on those things, because there are so many interesting things that are happening on the internet that you might want to speak about. But the flop in some of the things is that, hey, some of people's work will actually flag you with some, what do you call this thing? Okay, let's leave it. Copyright. Thank you, Makubi. Copyright strikes. Thank you, Makubi. I'm sure you're familiar with that, because you also have a channel on YouTube. So copyright strikes are a problem. Somebody works it hard to actually watch it and share it on our screen, because a day later we find these copyright strikes. But I'm sure most of you looks like you are South African. I'm sure South Africans. I'm sure you all are familiar with what's happening with the ad hoc committee, and also Abuelo Pro. How you doing? You are familiar with what's happening with the ad hoc committee and also with the Madanga Commission currently. There are a lot of things that are happening in our country. Some things that are very, very shocking, and some inhumane activities that's been happening in the country. And it's unfortunate that those things are happening and people come up missing, and no one is getting arrested off of those things. So those are the things that maybe our youth, we pray that they are brave enough to actually rise up and change the system, because it's the youth that have the power to actually change things around. If you follow the history of the humankind, you will realize that every time there's a revolution, the youth were involved. So we are hoping that, because we failed, I and my peers have failed already. So our time is past. So our children are the ones that we need to inspire to actually bring about the change in the country, for the better world, for the future to come. Hello, Apuero, how are you doing? Where are you joining us from? I wish I knew where you all are from and your interest, so that we would speak about your interest rather than what I think, because Speaking about these politics and everything that is not right with the country, I don't think it serves the right purpose, because sometimes you do not want to hear about bad things. You want to actually have fun and speak about nicer things and have hope for a better tomorrow, not necessarily mentioning the bad things that are actually happening. So we need to actually look past all that and try and have fun around those things while trying to tackle and fix the situation. We could only do so much. The next generation should take the baton and do better than us. Yeah, that's what's up, Makubi. That's what's up. I think we need to educate our youth, our children, basically. But the problem is, because we need actually to be aware of the fact that it's going to be even harder for them, because with them there's also drugs involved. There's a lot of alcohol consumption, which wasn't the case, at least in my generation. So when I grew up, people who were living in the streets were actually were actually glue addicts. We're not drug addicts. We're smoking glue. So smoking glue is way, 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 way. How do I put this? I think it's easy to redeem someone who actually is an addict of a glue than someone who's addict of iwunga or nyawope. I think it was pretty easy in our generations, so it has become even tougher for this generation now, and I imagine that it's gonna get worse for our children and their children also. So while we actually urge them to actually fight to change the situation and actually take the pattern moving forward, we need to actually take those factors into consideration. That there's a factor of drugs now that kills the youth, that destroys the youth, that kills the dreams, that kills our societies. There's a lot of things that are habit. I had karate to keep me busy. I think we need sports in schools and in communities. That's a good point, Makubi. That's a very, very great point. Actually, I think other than football, because mostly in black communities and colored communities, I'm not familiar with white neighborhoods in South Africa on what activities are available there, but it looks like in white neighborhood they have a variety of sport activities that are available for their youth, so that keep them preoccupied all the time rather than to focus on drugs. But in colored community, Indian community, and black community, usually we have sport in black community, and in Indian community we only have probably cricket. So colored community and black community are usually facing the same problems, basically, because to me colors are also black. Though Indians are also treat Indians as blacks, but colors are more related to blacks. So we are only exposed most of the time to soccer. But if you mention that karate kept you busy and you were so occupied that you didn't have time for drugs, I think that is something that we need to look for. And I think because we cannot beg the government to put money into those kind of sports, because sometimes government doesn't care. Sometimes I really think that government makes money out of these drugs. Hence, there's not much that is being done to actually help tackle the issue of the drugs that destroys our youth. So since karate was one of the things that helped you, Makubi, if we were to use karate, I think we, as the generation that is almost moving over and shifting from the platform, I think we need to try and assist and put money where we can to actually help these kids to make money out of the sport, not just be the part of the sport. Because to you and I, on our time, it was about passion and love of the sport. Though I wasn't doing karate, I was more on soccer, but it was purely from love and the passion of soccer. But I think we need to start investing into these sports to make sure that when the youth come into these sports and engage into these sports, there's money to be made there. So even if they are not good academically in school, but they have options that even if I'm not as good in mathematics, but I can fight and I can make money fighting. That, I think, doing that will actually help a lot to actually help our kids embark the problems that we are facing. Governments needs to support kids. There's so much talent out there. Remember Masakane Games? Yeah, but I don't know what happened to Masakane Games because I no longer see such games. In terms of sponsorship, the problem with the money that comes from the government, there's always some corruption involved with the issuing of tender and all those kind of things. So, which makes the funneling of the money not to reach the people it's supposed to reach, but end up enriching some people who are connected to some people, and then that actually destroy the sports. But if you say, if you remember actually this Masakane Games, I think it was a good initiative. Should it have been managed properly, I think it would have been a game changer. And you're also looking at the sport, at soccer basically, since they introduced CDDC, and I enjoy more now to watch DDC than the Betway Premiership because the talent that in DDC is more raw, and I think it's actually resonates with me because that's how we used to play in rural areas. It's just raw talent, uh, playing your heart out, hoping that maybe one day somebody will see you play, and then you make it. So if in every sport such things or such initiative could be introduced and money be involved, or we have people who actually will govern such sports like they do with the SAFA, probably we'll see the change. Right now, I think the vendors, it's the vendors who has this Masango sport, those fist fighting. I think that's a good sport, but the problem is it's not a problem basically. It's just the fact that it came up with a certain tribe. Probably it's kind of hard for some tribes to actually join in, and actually, if we can have a national sport of fist fighting, and then from that point we identify the most talented ones, they get training, and then start to fight, and then start to be professional boxers, and actually go and win championships in the world. It's very interesting that in South Africa right now, I don't think we do have a heavyweight in South Africa currently, and also there are so many other games, some indigenous games, strategic games. Yesterday somebody spoke about Mulabalaba and how it needs to be introduced virtually, but also the developers actually make it easy to actually play online and actually challenge people from all over the world. Those are some of the things that can happen, and we need some investors to put money on that. Maybe it will actually help shield our youth from the abuse of drugs. But it starts with a dialogue, it starts with conversations, and then money gets involved, and then the action is taken. But as long as we have hope, I believe that something can happen. Something can really happen. But we definitely need to actually find ways to help our youth to actually turn around things. BAV, H5F, double. Probably you're speaking about wrestling. How many wrestlers do we have in South Africa? Professional wrestlers. How many do we have in South Africa? I haven't been actually checking out the sport, so I have no idea what's going on with that scene. Do we have any professional wrestlers in South Africa? And also UFC. I think I've seen a couple of guys actually joining that sport. It's just that it's brutal. You need to know how to hold your hands if you go to UFC. So, because there are some brutal knockouts there. But I think it's one of those things that will actually help shield the youth from the drugs, because if you are going to be a UFC fighter, you actually need to be at training every day. Every morning and every afternoon, you need to be at training. If you're not at training, you're at home resting, because you need to be as fit as you can be to actually be able to participate in that sport. But I think that's actually the best sport. Contact sport. I think contact sport. If we can actually... Do you remember me? Yeah, I do remember you, Bevish 5. I can't remember. Actually, our community is very, very small. I remember most of y'all. As soon as I see your name, I remember you. Do you? Hey, bro, how's you, buddy? I'm good. Who is this? Diljit 8499. How do you do? How do you do Diljit 849? Yeah, I remember most of you all guys because our community is very, very small, so it's easy to remember y'all's name. I'm a fan. I'm an Orlando Pirate fan, as you are. So we've had a very, very wonderful day the other night after Pirates had won a Black Label Cup. I still remember you. But we are speaking about the ways to actually that can actually help change the situation around, because not all of us are as talented as Relemo Fokeng to actually play sport, or do Shabalala, or Mfundo Vilagazi, or Mabena in Sundowns, or in Ndlovu Golden Arrows. Not all of us are as talented as those guys, and some of us need to venture into different sports. So it's a shame that, especially in the black community, if you did not attend private school, it's hard to get to rugby on a professional level. So maybe that also is a contact sport. You need to stay fit to play rugby, and you will not have time to actually smoke drugs if you play rugby. So those are contact sports. I think they will be actually a major help to actually help combat drugs that actually destroy our youth. So rugby, UFC, I love UFC. Boxing, I love boxing. Probably in wrestling also. And also a lot of contact sports. I think that would be what would you do if you were the president for a day? If I were to be a president for a day, I will change the education system. Number one, I will change the education system. In what sense though? I will not force children to go to school if they are not good academically. That's number one. Number two, each and every school will have all kinds of variety of sports available in South Africa to identify talents from our youth, so that those who are talented and are not gifted academically, they can be ushered into sport and be developed in that particular sport. And by developing them in that particular sport, and also teach them the business aspect of that particular sport that those kids are talented to, that will save time. It doesn't make sense to go to school for 12 years and then it doesn't help you at the end of the day. So, but if you are naturally gifted as a boxer, and then we usher you into boxing, but also train you the business aspect of boxing, I think that will bring a major change in terms of developing our youth. Also, apart from changing education, everybody who is at 18 years to 21 will go through military training. I think for me, every boy child should know how to handle a gun, so that every boy child could be able to protect their family. So going through military training, you will get those skills to protect your family, but not only that, you will learn discipline and you will also learn how to lead. So, but you can't study. Yeah, you can study if you want to, but it won't be compulsory to learn things that will not help you. So, for instance, if you are gifted, if you are a gifted athlete, it makes sense to actually help you progress as an athlete, but also teach you basic things like reading and writing, and then help you understand business so that you can manage yourself as a business person and also know how the finances works. I think the most thing that we lack in our country is the understanding of how money works, especially in black communities, because I'm familiar with black people because I'm black, I'm familiar with colored people because I get contact with colored people and Indian people. But white people, I have no idea how they get it right, because it looks like on their communities they get it right. I don't know how. Maybe it's because of the education that they're exposed to, probably. But this thing of going to school for 12 years, for me, it doesn't work if someone is not gifted academically and all they know they need is to actually be taught a skill and then make a living off of that skill. So learn that skill, and then from that skill we teach you a business side of that, so that you know how to manage your monies and then prosper as a person. Amagwinya nozipho Nxumalo. Awumanxumalo njani? Welcome back. Amagwinya, I think it's one of the things that we find in Malokishin, because Lanje, next door, because I'm new in this community, like next door, there's a sister who sells amagwinya. And when the amagwinya mnandi loyasis loya. When the amagwinya mnandi loyasis. And it's one of the businesses that we have, especially Makasi, that actually helps women mostly in the townships to actually make a living. But how do we then control the entire thing, from flour kuza ku-yeast kuza ku-amafutha? How do we then have black people who actually produce cooking oil, so that the one who makes amagwinya will go, for instance, to Makubi and buy cooking oils? And if you know Manxumalo wenza amagwinya, then we need uMakubi to make cooking oil. We need somebody else to make yeast. We need somebody else. What else is needed? To make sugar. We need somebody else to have a farm to plant sugar cane, so that the other guy will actually buy the sugar cane and produce sugar, so that you can go and buy sugar there and make your magwinya. Maybe if we can control the entire system in terms of stakeholders, I think it could work. We need artisan buff, a lot of them, bro, a lot of them. That's why I'm saying it doesn't make sense to go to school and from grade R all the way to matric. Artisan doesn't need matric. It needs a willing heart and someone who can actually use their hands and the functioning brain. Sometimes you need a basic mathematics, because mathematics is compulsory to have, but I believe that grade 10 mathematics can help you actually achieve that. Plumbers, welders, builders, and such skills. That's correct. Actually, that's something I was thinking, I think a couple of months ago, because I was thinking to actually found a site and build a home. Patrick Star, how you doing? It's been a long time, bro. I think it's been 2 weeks since I've seen you. That's what I've been thinking about last week, because I'm searching for a site, because it looked like the person who owns this property is not willing to sell it to me. So I'm renting at the moment. So I'm looking for a site to actually build. But I was thinking that I need to pay somebody to actually come and build a house for me. So that's money going out. But if I can learn the skill, I can utilize that skill and save some money in doing that. And also I can utilize that same skill to help other people build their houses and make money off of that. But if we... Yeah, I remember you, Patrick Star. I'm good, bro. I'm good. I hope you're also doing good. I think maybe also it's something that we need to plant in the brain of our youngsters, to actually look at those skills, because it's basic skills. You don't need much education with those skills, but though you don't need much education in those skills, you need to learn business side of it. The business side of it is very, very important, because you can learn the skill and be good at it, but if you cannot manage money that you make off of that skill, then it becomes useless. It becomes a liability. It destroys you. It's not easy, especially to be a builder, because I've worked on construction sites growing up, trying to learn the skill of building, which it didn't materialize. It's very, very challenging physically. So you need to have strength to be a builder, and you need to maintain your physique. But if you drink recklessly, when you make that money and you do not understand how to actually manage and reinvest that money you make from being a biller, then it's a problem. Maybe in terms of prioritizing, to have a metric, maybe we should prioritize to teach people business side of things, money, how to manage money. In terms of prioritizing metric, that people need metric, we need to prioritize to teach people how to make and manage money. Because I think it's a pandemic basically that faces most of our youth. We do not know how to actually save and manage money. We do not know. Because those who went to school and they were actually financed by NFSAS, for an example, they will need to pay back that money someday. So if you are working and you are earning a 16,000 a month, and then NFSAS need you to pay back the money, and that means maybe 1,500 is to pay back the NSFAS. Already you are left with how much now? 14,500. And if you want to buy a car, a good 5,000 is going, you are left with 9,500. And then you need groceries, another 4,000. And then how are you going to pour petrol in that car? And you still need an accommodation. You still need to rent somewhere to live. The next thing you know, the car is repossessed. What actually led to that is the fact that we do not know how to manage money. I think that's the basic priority that we need actually to actually learn. Because maybe it's a little bit late for us. Maybe it's something that needs to be the priority for our children. They need to know how to make money and also how to manage money. That will save them a lot from the scammers, because hey, we've been scammed. We've been scammed in the name of making quick bucks and quick returns, and some people are still getting scammed even today because they believe that you can actually maximize your profit in a matter of days, which is impossible. You are very intellectual, man. I mean it. Honestly, like I'm hearing and taking in the information. Thank you very much, Patrick Star. Thank you very much. But I'm uneducated. So if you say I'm intellectual, then it's a compliment to me. I think it's a compliment because I'm uneducated. So it's something that I learned throughout life. It's what life taught me. But it's very, very important that people know how to make money and also how to manage money, because that's actually what destroys not only the youth, but even families. Even families are destroyed because we do not know how to manage money. Yes, most of us have a way of making money, because sometimes you don't even need to learn how to make money. You need to get a job to make money. So getting a job is a form of a business itself. So maybe we also need to be taught that as an employee, you are offering services to a company. So it's a business transaction because you render services and you are getting paid at the end of the month. Now that you found a formula to make money, you need to be taught then how then you manage the same money. Because going to work and then approach your work as if it's a job, I think that also is a problem. Maybe if we can approach a job as a business, because you are employed but you are rendering services in exchange of money. For me, that's business already. So most of us already have ways of making money. So we do not need to learn skills of making money, because if you have a job, you're already making money. You have a way of making money. Now, let's not approach that as a job, but let's approach it as a business. So as a business, how do you manage money then? Maybe that will help us to actually tackle this issue of finances better, because hey, we waste money. It's December now. if you can drive around South Africa on this weekend that's coming, the coming weekend, and also on the 16th, on Tuesday, go to any park that you know and see what happens there. You will see what I mean. And what drives us to that is because we have jobs that pays us. So we already have a formula to make money. But we do not know when we get that money, how to manage it. And I'm saying, maybe it is better not to approach a job as a job, but approach it as a business. So as a business, when you get money, you reinvest your money. Where do you reinvest your money? Now that's another problem because we do not know where to reinvest that money. And Makubi says turn that money into JSE company shares. That's another idea, Makubi. That's another idea. And I think nowadays it's easy to access JSE because we have access to internet and we have gadgets that actually help us to register with JSE. But then maybe the challenge is which stocks to buy, what shares to buy. Now, that's when people with the expertise come into place to actually educate on which shares to buy. Because you can have that money and register with the JSE, but if you do not know which stocks to buy, then it's going to be a problem. You are going to lose your money because investing on stock exchange doesn't guarantee you to make fortune overnight, but you need to actually be relentless. I've invested in a couple of companies via easy equities over the years, and I still have some portion invested in property via easy equities. So what I've learned through investing money by buying shares, as Makubi is saying here, is that it's not something that will get you rich overnight. No, but you need a discipline that, okay, now I have a job, I'm earning 10,000. Out of this 10,000, I'm committing 2,500 to buy shares each and every month when I get paid. It's a slow process, quite painful. You are right, Makobi. I know it because I'm part of that via equity. But you need to know, you need to be disciplined to know that, okay, I'm earning 10,000, I'm committing 2,500, which is 25% of my salary, to actually buy shares every month for as long as you work. Let's say you work for 10 years. Obviously, salary grows each and every year by a certain percentage. Maybe it won't be 2,500 the entire 10 years. It depends how much incentive you get every year and increment, how much increment you get every year, so that your portion may increase. But if you commit 25% of your salary every month for 10 years, even if your salary doesn't grow or doesn't increase, your 2,500 is consistency for 10 years. If we can calculate 2,500 for 10 years, how much is that? That's 300,000. If you commit 2,500 a month for 10 years, that's 300,000 guaranteed. Now, you do not count the fact that these shares accumulate over time. That if that company grows. So, but you are guaranteed that in 10 years you would have 300,000. But if you instead decide that I would buy a car and pay 4,000 Rand a month, that's the cheapest car, I guess, 4,000 Rand a month. I'm not counting about I'm not talking about interest, just straight 4,000. Hi, Mohau. It's been a long time, bro. Welcome back. So if you instead of investing and then you choose to buy a car, and in that car, a car is an investment, obviously. But the only problem is that car value depreciates over time. It does not appreciate. So car sometimes can be a liability unless there's a reason why you are buying a car. Because some jobs really need you to have a car. So it's really hard to do your work in some jobs. I remember that I was once an estate agency. I was selling houses. That's one of my careers that have failed. You cannot do that job without a car. You need a car. You need to have a car. You need to have a cell phone. You need to have a laptop. And you need to have airtime and data all the time. You need to have petrol also to move from one place to another, because if a client calls and wants to sell a house, you need to get there as soon as possible. Because if you don't, another agent will get there and actually get the stock. Now, let's say you choose not to invest your 2,500 now. Back to what I was talking about. You choose to actually buy a car and pay 4,000 Rand a month. Then 4,000 Rand, how many years do you pay for a car? 6 years. I think you pay for 6 years. If you buy a car, you pay for 6 years. 6 years. So 4,000 Rands times 12, that's 48,000 a year. I think my math is correct. 4,000 Rand a year times 6 years. Is it 6 years or 7 years? Who has a car here? Who has a car here? In 6 years, that's about 240,000 if I'm not mistaken. We are not without the interest, because obviously there's interest that is actually will be there. But without interest, if you are paying 4,000 Rand a month for a car for 6 years, that's actually close to 240,000 without interest. Actually, my math is wrong here. That is definitely wrong. There's no way. 2,500 was 10 years, so it makes sense. That's close to 240,000, or a little bit more than 240,000. Include the interest, that will go to at least 350,000 that you paid for 6 years paying for a car. Now imagine if you took the same money and you invested it, and then it accumulates interest for you instead of accumulating interest for the bank, because the bank bought the car that you are driving. Maybe we need to start prioritizing those things. Those are some of the things that we didn't learn growing up. That actually could be a game changer. Should we know we knew about those things. What I did, I think 2023 and 2024, I was planning to buy a car, but I decided I need to actually save about 5,200 a month for the entire year to see if I can qualify to actually go get a car. I can qualify, yes, but if I will manage to actually pay for that car. So I joined a stokvel. There was 8 of us, and I joined in with 3 names. Each member was paying 1,700 a month on that stokvel. But because I wanted to test if I can manage to actually pay for a car, I joined with 3 names. So 1,700 times 3, that's 5,200. 5,100, I mean, for a year. When the year ends, I am supposed to have at least 17,000 times 3, that's 51,000. I am supposed to have at least 51,000 Rand at the end of the year. But when the year ends, yes, there is 51,000 Rand, but I'm in debt of 15,000. So this 51,000 now I need to minus a 15K, because now I'm in debt. So it goes back to 36,000. What does that mean? It means I don't afford to buy a car, because I will fail to pay for it. And if I fail to pay for it, it's going to be repossessed. And when it gets repossessed, I will have a bad credit record. And if I have a bad credit record, I have no relationship with banks. So that means my life is screwed. I did not buy a car. I did not buy it because I saw that, though according to the bank I qualified to actually get it, but I cannot manage to pay for it. But those are some of the things that we are not taught. Those are some of the things that you learn as you grow up, which I think is very, very important to actually teach our children. I think that is something that actually needs to be prioritized. But it's not the case. Probably from where I am from, it's not the case. But I'm not familiar with what happens with private institutions. Maybe they are privy to such information to actually help them make better choices growing up. But I think we really, really need to actually be taught on how to actually manage money that we make. And also we need to stop looking at our jobs as just jobs, but looking at them and start looking at them as businesses, because you render your services and then you get paid in exchange of your services. So to me, that's business. You actually offer services for payment. That's business. So we need to look at our jobs as businesses. And then from that, we need to actually refine our strategies of actually approaching the money. So we've been here for at least 52 minutes now. We've been here for at least 52 minutes now. So I think we've had a very, very wonderful time. And you guys are very, very smart. You guys are very, very smart. So it's very, very challenging to actually chat with you all, because you actually challenge me to think. So I like people who challenge me to think because it helps me grow. So I think we will have to hold it for today and come back again tomorrow at 5 past 9, I think. Our official time is 21 hours 05 SAST. So, and see what we are to talk about. But if you do not have sport news, then we will chat about anything, because this is a sport channel. But anything goes, because if we chat anything, it goes, because we have different interests as the different people. So if we are different, then we everyone's interests and take what can help us from that, and then help shape ourselves moving forward. So because we need to constantly grow as a people, we can't be stagnant. We need to constantly evolve as a people. We can't be stagnant and not grow. So I really appreciate chatting with you all, because that helped me actually achieve exactly that. Apart from reading books, you guys are actually how do I put it? My water is finished also. Actually helped me learn. You actually helped me learn a lot of things. And some of you all talk about the things that I log off here and go and research them, because maybe I wasn't familiar with those concepts or that kind of information. And then they tell me also grow. I wonder if I also probe the same thing to y'all. After we have this entire 1 hour chat, I hope that you are also inspired to actually go and research some of the things and help develop yourself in return, because I can't only be the one who learns from y'all and y'all are not learning from me. So my name is Sipho Ndlovu. This is nevertheless Commentaries, Sipho on Sport. We usually do sport analysis, sports breakdown, sports football reaction. If you check some of our videos here, you see some of our works. Please help subscribe and help us grow. We are trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by April 2026. That's what we're trying to do. By the time of World Cup, we want to be at least over 8,000 subs and have built or make a name for ourselves in terms of sports analysis and everything. So thank you. I love you so much. I enjoyed being with you. I will see you again tomorrow, 21:05, 5 past 9 to 10. So have a warm sleep. May God remember your prayers and bless you with your families. Be safe. I will repeat that. Be safe. If you drink responsibly and be safe. Take care of your family over and above. Protect and take care of your families. Be a good leader, a force to reckon with. Thank you. I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a nice, what do you say at night? You said good night. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.